Good morning, sim racers of the world. How are you doing? Sim racers unite and conquer. Look who's over there. Look who's over there today.
Yo, how's it going?
I am not flying solo. I have a co-pilot. This is great. I can put it on. I can turn the controls over to you and take a break. Ooh. I love it. I love it.
Whoa, I don't know about that, but yeah, I will do what we can.
So it's Friday morning for me. It's Friday evening for you. It's Friday for most of you. I guess somewhere it could already be Saturday, I think. But anyway, it is Friday. That means it is time for the pit stop and time to talk sim racing and everything going on in the world of sim racing. And we start things off with some good mornings and how you doing? Zamir, how you been? It's been a while since you've been here on a pit stop.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't make it last week, man. We ended up getting it was a really bad accident on the Autobahn where they shut down. It would only happen on my side of the Autobahn, but because of how bad it was, they had to shut down the other side because they had to fly in the medical helicopter to transport the people.
Oh my.
And so dude, I was maybe I'm going to use European terms here. I was probably 300 meters away from where the accident was. I was kind of close up to where it happened.
Right.
And you just see the helicopters flying, swerving, land right in front of us. I hope those guys are doing well, but yeah, dude, I was stuck for almost 3 hours because they had to, they had to air evac the people. They had to replace the barrier. They had to bring the cleaning truck to clean off the road from the oils and the fluids and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I didn't get home. I think it was 8, 9 o'clock by the time I got home. Yeah, it was bad, but I'm here. We're good.
Hey, Tom Jones, I'll give you. I was going to do some Americana for you. 300 meters. That's like 3 football fields. Relative, pretty close. It's about 3/4 of a mile, ish. In that ballpark.
No, 300 meters? No, it's not that long.
No. I'm sorry. That's not even a quarter mile.
Yeah, no, not even a quarter mile. Yeah, 300 meters.
400 meters is a quarter mile. So
yeah,
it's
a little less than a quarter mile.
It's 3/4 of a quarter of a mile.
Something like that. Yeah.
That would be 3/12. Is that right? 3/12 of a mile.
There you go. I think. I don't know. I'm too Europeanized to understand American measurement system anymore.
3/12 of a mile. What does that mean to even an American though? 3/12. Wait.
I don't know.
3/4 of 1/4 of a mile, which would be 3/12 of a mile.
Yeah.
No, 4/12 is a quarter.
I just noticed something. Yeah. You're wearing something different.
Oh, have you seen this?
I haven't gotten mine yet, but you're wearing something very different.
I forgot I was wearing it actually.
What is that? What is that?
This is the SimPit t-shirt. This is the new logo.
Ooh.
Which I guess I'm wearing on a shirt. I mean, we've soft secret launched our new logo.
I know we did it with some of our liveries for the cars. Yeah,
it's on a bunch of cars at this point.
Yeah.
I've seen other people driving this livery. So yeah, this is the new shirt. It's on our Fourth Wall store, and working on some other items. The logo, I want to get my beanie. Was it a beanie? No, a hat. I think I actually was going to order a hat. I can't remember if it was a beanie.
Yeah, you ordered a hat and the polo, but the embroidery didn't come out the way I wanted to, so I had to go back to the drawing board and refigure out how to make the logos with the embroidery in mind. So I guess I got to make a kind of almost a different looking logo. Because of how embroidery works, it just didn't work with our new logo that's gonna be coming out.
Yeah, Tom Jones, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, 1 of every 5 of those goes to tariffs, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, let's do some.
Well, he's in America, so there are no tariffs.
I want to do some good mornings.
I know. Yeah, go ahead, buddy. Yeah,
I'm going to try to
quite a
stay
few
off
people here today.
tariffs. I'm going to stay off tariffs. I say that. Alash Mom, good morning to you. Tom Jones, F you, Frozen Shoulder is right. Frozen Shoulder riots. Sunday, I'm going to start the race, but I might just be running to the pit stop. I like, again, if it get anyway, that's a whole other, we'll see. I'm not very optimistic right now though, unfortunately. David S. Callum, good morning to you. Tom Jones, I already said good morning to you. Who else is here? Stephen Williamson, Rocket Power Mohawk made a video about the F1 Academy. Hope this esports series worthy of more RPM satire. Nothing serious.
He's a funny guy on YouTube. He takes like a really tongue-in-cheek look at the F1, what's going on in F1. He's a really funny guy to watch on YouTube.
Is he British?
I watch all of his videos. He's British, but he's kind of like your how's best to describe him? He's kind of like your funny hooligan British guy. In a way, like he's loud, he's obnoxious, but he says everything, and everything's just so funny how everything rolls off his tongue, and just looking at the situations that are going on in F1. He's a really funny guy to watch.
Okay, cool. I'll check him out.
Yeah.
Stan Donnet, good morning to you. David S., I think I got you, but get you again. Caractacus is here. Tony Morano is here. Good mornings all around for everyone. Heiko's here, of course, and thanks again, Tom. Driver 69 is here, and yeah, good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Not a lot of sim racing news. And actually, if you think about it, we have two areas of news, right? We usually have hardware and software.
Yep.
Software, we know what all the companies are doing right now, right? We have a little bit of updates here and there, sure, but like they do their thing. It's for, they're on their own schedule. Hardware, I was just thinking about it. Actually, it's not a big surprise. There's not a lot of news in the hardware world right now. There might be a little bit of insecurity. Good morning, Tim. How you doing? Joa's here. Good morning. Wait, I didn't see. Oh, Joa, I did. It's because I thought your bald comment was a different kind of bald. So my insecurities had me delete your comment. I didn't realize you were talking bald.
It was the tariffs. The tariffs took away one of our hellos. That's what it was.
Joe got the tariff. Today's tariff is no hello for Joe. Tune in next week to find out who does not get a hello. Oh, Lord. All right, like I said, there's not a lot of news, which is fine. Because you know what there is?
What is there?
There's a lot of work. I got a lot of work.
Yeah.
I've been trying to crank stuff out. Trying to get in the pit more. I hope you guys are enjoying our live streams of unboxings, assemblies, first tests. I'm going to keep it up. I'm still in behind. I think I promised you guys an AccuForce round 2. We're going to do some like WRC and some Assetto and some other stuff. That's still coming. Hopefully today, tomorrow, or Sunday. I hate throwing days down. I'm so bad at coming through on them. But I am working my butt off, and some stuff you know about, some stuff you don't know about, some stuff we've teased, some stuff that other companies will tease. So if you watch the show, you might be able to figure it out.
Yeah.
If you follow along, I'm sure you'll know what's going on. All right. So what did we have this week from us? We had the Conspit Aries Platinum Wheelbase review. I almost forgot about that one. Here.
Stronger and more.
Yeah, have you mailed that to me yet? Because you know it's purple.
It really just has one little purple ring.
I know.
It's just like, that's it. That's all the purple right there. Tom Jones. Apparently, I am too busy because I've been watching Hot Rod.
Great movie. Oh, it's a great movie, man.
But I watched it the other day.
Yeah.
And I really watched it, and I'm like, I know it's super duper funny if you're a goofball.
Welcome
Right.
But is it really? I mean, I'm like, oh my god, it's so bad. But I love it. It's one of my absolute favorites.
I mean, I think that's the thing. Like there's comedy movies that are terrible, but it's because everybody takes themselves so seriously in what they're doing, and it shows. Like, they're trying so serious to be funny, but Hot Rod is just kind of one of those movies, like, it's just one of those movies where, like, you can tell people are just there to have fun. Like, everybody, like, for example, like, everybody hates on, like, Adam Sandler. Like, it's always, Adam Sandler makes movies with just him and his friends. Like, but you can tell they're just having fun.
Right.
They're not there, right? They don't care too much about the paycheck or anything like that. They're just having fun. It kind of comes through with the movie. It might not be a great movie, but it kind of comes through. Like, yeah, they're just not taking themselves serious. They're there to have fun, and you end up kind of having fun watching it.
If you had your way, wouldn't you rather work with your friends?
Exactly.
That's
why I'm with you.
Yeah.
You're my buddy. You're my bro.
Exactly. So yeah, I and it's what's also funny about that movie Hot Rod for me is that some of the scenes that are not even necessarily funny are some of the funniest scenes to me. Anyway, I totally enjoyed watching it. You've only seen it once. It's a very funny movie, but you got to be in the right mindset. You got to be ready to just kind of you have to be ready to not take anything seriously. So if you're like all serious, I'm not sure that's the movie to watch.
Yeah.
All right. You know what's funny? I have this freeze framed here on this one shot, and it's the topic of purple.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this right here, this shot perfectly shows negative space. No, what it really shows is how very little can be enough to set a theme color.
Yeah.
Because honestly, look at this. There's only 2 little knobs on that steering wheel that are actually purple.
Right.
And there's just one little ring on that entire base that is purple. They're the least dominant colors of the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yet they stand out so much that you would immediately be like, that's a purple themed setup right there. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's purple. It's not like Prince purple, right? But yeah, I mean, and when we are in a world, and I want to go back to the intro here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to play it with the audio.
In a world where direct drive wheelbases are getting cheaper, stronger, and more crowded, the Conspit Aries
Okay, that comment there, that when the world's getting more crowded with so many bases, and I honestly, the difference from Newton meter to Newton meter, there's a bigger difference between Newton meters than there are brands.
Right.
For sure. Right. I'd argue a lot of them are starting to not be carbon copies. I'm not saying they're all identical, but they're all going to give you like really similar results. So I feel like to an extent you are kind of buying into some of the theme, some of that other aspect as much as the performance, because I don't feel that many of them, if you just took the 18 Newton meter category, I just don't think that the difference between any of the wheels that we would be talking about are going to win or lose you a race or even make more than 1/10 of a second difference in your lap time. I mean, I don't even know if it would make 1/10. There might be a placebo effect. You might just feel better with one. But so I think things like that styling, this wheelbase brought to it, the unique quick release, even though it keeps you in their ecosystem, but come on, we're buying into an ecosystem nowadays, so I'm not sure I worry about that. And they do sell that quick release, so if you want a third-party wheel, you're going to be fine. So yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I was saying, like, I think now we're at the point with direct drive wheels. It's kind of like, and we talked about this quite a few weeks ago, talking about like everything is just now going to be based the wheels have gotten so good that now it's just based off of how does a sim racer feel with that particular piece of gear. Like, it's just going off of feeling now. What makes you feel like you're driving your best? It's kind of like, with cars nowadays, like, what would you drive? Would you rather drive, a BMW or a Mercedes? Or, some people are going to pick the BMW because, like, oh, I think the BMW feels and drives the greatest. And some people are probably going to pick like a Mercedes because, oh, it feels and drives the greatest. And you're going to have that, they're going to argue amongst each other. Oh, this car's better. This car's better. And I think, but in reality, just all it comes down to is just how does it make you feel now? Like, I think it's just how good the direct drive wheelbases have gotten with their technology and the software that they're using.
Sure. What you said, Al, I saw that question. Tom, thank you for highlighting it. Altran, we'll get to that in 1 second here. What you said is so perfect. What you see and feel in your hands, to me at this point, and I hope and wait, let me rephrase before I say this. I want you to disagree with me if you disagree with me. I'm not trying to have some kind of this is not a right or wrong thing.
Right.
What you see and feel in your hands and how you feel about that relationship is actually going to be more important than the wheelbase if we're talking about all those wheelbases that we could be mentioning that went up in that intro. You're going to buy Newton meters based on one or two things. How much strength you want out of your wheel or what your budget is. That's it. Whatever brand you pick. The wheel in your hand is going to be what is so critical because it's how you're just going to... It's your contact point with the sim. And so, like, if it was golf, the way you look down and address the ball and the way your eyes see that club face with that ball is going to be very important. This is a very important relationship. And when people get too hung up on wheelbase to wheelbase, I get it. I understand. It seems like such an important factor, and it sure is. But really, I dare say, that wheel rim and getting that wheel rim that just brings a smile to your face, because like you said, maybe it's Porsche, maybe it's BMW, maybe it's purple accents, maybe it's authentic leather versus synthetic. Maybe it's a super brand name that brings, GSI. Maybe it's just, it's so premium or, anyway, I that's what I thought was most special about the Conspit is that they opened their own lane to have a group of people say, that's the design I identify with, and like Lamborghini versus Ferrari.
Yeah.
Wow, I would say at this point they're equally prestigious brands. And that's going to offend a lot of Ferrari people who feel Ferrari is superior. It's going to offend a bunch of Lamborghini people. And what I'd argue is it's actually a completely different clientele for the most part. So, and that's great. That's awesome, by the way. That's a beautiful thing.
I look at it more as, having these manufacturers, like you're saying, like Ferrari and Lamborghini, like would people put as much prestige, or would Ferrari cars be as good if you didn't have Lamborghini, and vice versa?
Right.
Like they both push each other to make cars better and better. Like, like think about like the amount of horsepower these cars have nowadays. Like, that would be unthinkable 20, 30 years ago when you had, like a Ferrari 355. It made maybe 400 horsepower, but now you're looking at some of these Ferraris that make over 900 horsepower. They're hybrid. They're almost, you can sit there and just take them to the racetrack and just dominate with these cars. It's that's why, like, regardless if you hate SimMagic or you hate Moza or you hate Fanatic, like, these guys are always pushing each other to make better products, either directly or indirectly, and all that stuff should be celebrated regardless of how you emotionally feel about other competitors or products. Like, you should celebrate them because they're pushing the brand that you enjoy to make a better product.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, Altran Sam, I want to get back to your question because that is the side objective and point and purpose of the pit stop is to just talk general sim racing. So the question is asked, and I didn't look to see if we had anybody agreeing or disagreeing with us on our opinion on wheelbase's wheel relationship there. Dying to know your guys' thoughts on that. But Altran, so the advantage of a 200 kilogram load cell versus a 100 kilogram. Advantage is a tough word to use there. And I don't think that there is not a direct advantage, I think is the right answer. With that said, it gets back to what we've been talking, preferences. What are your preferences? And in the world of sim racing, we have two different preferences. We have, I've driven the real car and I'm trying to mimic that kind of pressure. Or we have preconceived notions of what we think it is, right? Because none of us have driven a Formula One car. I've driven a lot of cars, including a handful of different open wheel cars. Never driven anything remotely close to a Formula One car. I have no idea how much leg it takes to brake that car. And just because it's a Formula One car doesn't mean that it takes a gorilla strength leg to push the pedal, because with mechanical and engineering and other things, you can make it as light as you want it to be. It's what is most beneficial to performance. Now, I always equate braking to like trying to balance something, you know, like if you had a stick and you're trying to balance a ball on it. And like braking to me at its peak is balancing a ball on that stick. And you're using the weight of your body and your leg against that pedal, against what the car is doing, so that just the slightest release and increase of pressure. For some people, it's going to be a lot easier to do that with more weight. For a lot of people, it's going to be less weight. That's part one. The other thing I also learned when I went to an active pedal, I set up a setting that was like very Formula One. It was close to 200 kilograms, let's just say. I think it was like 170, but it was this very strong pedal. And for intense motorsports, it worked really nice. But on a road course, we're only doing 11 corners, maybe 2 are heavy braking zones. So I'm only have to lean on that pedal at that level once or twice a lap, and the others are just scrubbing speed kind of braking, which with a heavy brake pedal works out really, really easy because it's almost hard to do too much on a 200 kilogram for scrubbing speed amount of braking. Now, when I went to rally racing, I couldn't even finish a stage with that much brake pedal. I needed more mechanical advantage. I had to drop it all the way down to 78 kilograms to get the best performance in rally. So, there you go. I don't know. That's my opinion. Others have their own opinions, but I gave you also how it works in my head. It's not just like, you know, there. But again, to each his own. Now, and then here's the magic thing. And I really just need to... I'm in ramble mode. Shit! What I was really going to get at is... I don't know. Forget it. Oh, sure. As a driver, your job is to work with your equipment. So ultimately, if you give me a 200 kilogram, I'm going to figure out what it needs and I'm going to do what it takes. And if it takes a lot of leg, well, then maybe I need to work out more. If you give me a 100 kilogram, same thing. You give me a 50 kilogram, I'm going to tell you, God, that's really light, but I'm going to get the job done because I'm going to learn the pressure it takes. So that's the now long-winded answer. Anything you want to respond on that, Amir?
No, I mean, I was just gonna just piggybacking off of you. I mean, I'm thinking about it. I think about it this way: like to me, there's no difference between a 100 kilogram and a 200 kilogram load cell. It's still gonna work the same way, except just the amount of force you're gonna have to put. So maybe, maybe if you're a guy that you like press 400 pounds every day in the gym. I mean, you might need that 200 kilogram load cell because you got super calves. But if you're a person that doesn't really work out too much, you probably might be just good enough with just a 100 kilogram load cell. Like I have the SemiCube active pedals on the rig right now, and I think I max it out at maybe 80. Like
Yeah.
I saw no need to go any higher than that, like just to make sure I'm in control of my braking. So yeah, it's going to differ from person to person, but I think I haven't really seen any pedals nowadays that do anything less than 100 kilograms.
Top Joe's 200 kilogram leads to frozen knee. And Dirge, yeah, I think I didn't mention that too. Generally speaking, you're gonna have a little less travel with 200 kilograms, especially on a load cell.
Yeah.
Interesting. Getting back to the active pedal, I can actually leave the range whatever I need it to be, no matter what the pressure is. I can do 10 kilograms with this much movement. It's really amazing what you can do. That's and again,
Right.
when people think and talk about the active pedal, that's been my experience. Is the best thing about it is the electronic ability to do everything that you have to do on a mechanical set of pedals. So you can change all your elastomers in 2 seconds. You can change your range of motion. You can change your start and end points. You can change every setting that makes the pedal move how much and how much pressure, including like changes of pressure. So if you want it to be non-linear, all of that magically within seconds. That is the biggest advantage of the active pedal. All of the haptics, the force feedback to me doesn't technically exist because the force feedback are the haptics. The movement stuff is what I just talked about. It isn't the haptics. So to me, that's the split and the big advantage. And if anybody's out there and you're on a set of P1000s or you got haptics added to any pedal set out there, I'm telling you, the only part you're missing is the beauty of what I just described electronically. Right. And it is beautiful, and I utilize it more than I thought I would, but you don't need to, Some people just want something. And this, I'm glad we have no topics today. You guys have some great questions. This ties right into Clarion Connor. Ciaran. Sorry if I murdered your name. I'm trying. Ciaran Connor. This ties directly into that question there, funny enough. Any opinion on telemetry-based force feedback as produced by VNM wheelbases? Does this differ much from standard force feedback? And the answer to that is yes, it differs massively, actually. Far more than you would imagine. And here's my quick take on it. We don't have enough time to go into great detail. And I've never used the VNM, but SimExperience uses telemetry-based. Here's the difference. It almost does the opposite of what I just said with the active pedal. The telemetry-based force feedback actually makes your wheel feel almost identical in every scenario you go to. It actually just is like, this is the way we want the wheel to feel, and then it converts it car by car by car slightly. Versus standard force feedback, if you get in the Miata and then just get right into the Ferrari fixed on iRacing, for example, the Miata will feel like it was power steering, and the Ferrari is going to feel like it's got like nothing. And so yeah, you get a little less of that difference between cars with the telemetry based force feedback. That's my opinion and thoughts. Bam. Anything else? I'm on fire. I'm on fire.
Fire.
And we even
I was just gonna
go ahead. I disengaged ramble mode.
There you go. No, I was just gonna piggyback, like just going off of what Driver 69 just said too. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna mention names, but there are some companies that say, they'll say certain things about how your equipment should feel and how they should behave. Like, you need to have, and some racers that say you need to have super stiff pedals because that's how they are in race cars. Oh no, you need to have super soft pedals. And like my response is always, why are you setting up your gear to work against you? You want to set your gear up to make sure you can maximize your potential. And like, I'll give you a teaser on the SimiCube video that my thought process on it is when people are looking at products, like let's say, let's say somebody has the Simtrex pedals, because this is going to be a really good example. So how many people have the Simtrex pedals and they have them set up, but now they're like, oh, I don't like them so much. I really like that Moza M Booster. I really like the SimiCube Active Pro pedals. I mean, they're direct drive. I can set them up the way I want, blah, blah, blah. But how many of those people actually took the time, because Simtrex has over 75 different configurations on setting up those pedals. So how many of them actually tried every single combo to make those pedals work for them to maximize their potential? Maybe a handful,
right?
And they're all now they're thinking about spending all this extra money on a different piece of hardware that thinks like, oh, this is going to make me better, when they haven't even realized the true potential of their own gear. So to me, it's just, you need to configure your gear and set it up to way that maximize your potential more than anything else. Don't worry about, oh, it could be this stiff or it could go up to this high, blah blah. Like, no, just get it and set up for you. Like,
yeah,
like I've got the old OSW, wheel on my car. It's still, I have this old SimiCube 1. I still have it. I haven't upgraded to anything else because I never saw a need to. But it's it's the 32 Newton meter one. I only use maybe 10% of the power.
Right.
Like, there's no need to use anymore else. Like, why am I going to set it higher and fight against it? And that's going to make me even slower and drive worse.
Absolutely. Fighting your gear.
There
was something else somebody said I wanted to clue into. Yeah, that's the other category. If you're a pro driver and you're trying to mimic a real feel, that changes everything. Right. Getting to what Amir said, or expanding upon it, on why are you fighting your gear? See, one of the advantages of sim racing is that we're not in a real car. In a real car, you get what you got. Whatever car you get into, you strap into, whatever this power steering is, or whatever the mechanical advantage is in the steering, is what you get. And if it blisters your hands, get some Band-Aids. If the leg pressure is too much, well, you better brake earlier, I guess, because I can't do anything for you there. Getting back to the balancing act and talking about the G-force aspect of braking, that's what I meant about that ball on top of a stick. You hit the brakes, and you got to swing that stick forward a whole lot to keep that ball going because of the momentum, right? And so at the moment you feel it starting to go the other way, you need to decrease your pressure. And just you're doing this with the brake pedal to keep that ball on top. And what I mean by the ball on top is keeping those front wheels, mainly, all the wheels, but mainly the front, spinning as slow as they can before they actually start to lock up at all. The moment they start to lock up, you've got too much. That's when you need to back off. The moment that they start to spin a little too fast, you need to apply more pressure to get efficient full threshold braking.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw one other thing I wanted to ask or address. BS. We need G-force in sim racing, but how? And you laughed because, of course, how?
Yeah.
Here's how. It's multiple immersion techniques layered together at once. A motion sim. Some variation of a G-seat, whether it be active motors or bladders, and it might not even be one that we have just yet. VR. VR is an essential part. But if I think at some point, if you can get there's three. If we can get 3 layers of immersion dedicated to giving you the sensation of G-force, and you can zone into the game, I guarantee you your inner ear will start to play tricks on your brain, and you will feel the G-forces in the corner. You will feel the G-forces in the stuttering of the car and braking, and it's not a big leap. It won't be real, but that's how I feel about it. We're this close. I've experienced it. Let's put it that way. I have experienced it. A sensation of it. And if you want proof, think of how many of those motion rides there are at places like Disneyland and Universal Studios. They wouldn't do those rides. Don't go anywhere. There are no G-forces. They are a platform, not a lot different than some of them are a little more movement. But ultimately, You barely have more movement than we have in our motion simulators.
Yeah.
It's it is the total immersion that sells this concept on you, and some wind effects. That's another one. If you're in VR and you give me wind and you give me a little tilt and a little rumble and a little G seat pressing me the wrong way, my brain's gonna be like, wait, I'm pretty sure I'm doing 200 miles an hour here.
Yeah.
All right. What else? We got no show today. There's no show.
I mean, it's kind of I agree with you. Like a couple years ago, we went to Europa Park. Europa Park is like the Disneyland of Europe.
I know Europa Park.
Yeah, so we went there. They used to. They had a VR roller coaster ride. It was based off of Valerian, the movie Valerian or the books. And so you walk into the room and everything. If you get in, they make you put on these VR headsets, and now you're in the virtual world of the movie, and you walk through the doors, like the real doors. The doors are there in the VR world, and you walk and you go and you sit in your roller coaster. You don't see anything. You don't know what's going on inside anymore because now you're just in the virtual world, and then the roller coaster just takes off. And you're going, you're going up, you're going down, turning left and right and everything like that. And you're feeling like, holy crap, I'm flying through the canyons of the planet. Now I'm up in space. I'm going through a space battle. And then finally, when you get done, you finally stop. And you take off your headset and you're like, you look around and you're like, I was just in a dome. That was it. Like,
yeah.
I was just going in circles and stuff around in a dome. Like, it wasn't that big of a ride. But like, holy crap, that VR, and plus adding that motion, with the roller coaster is like, I completely felt like I was in a completely different world. Like, it tricked all my senses, thinking I was like on this massive, the normal roller coasters that you see on the outside,
right?
The big ones. Like, I felt I was on one of those. I didn't really realize like I'm just like in this little dome, just going in circles up and down and all that.
Yeah. I so again, I've experienced it, and I think that. Right now, even right there in that rig, I don't have a G seat right now, and it kind of does need to be. So, like, I think there's a rumble seat, right? That'll be a nice addition, but you do need that. That when I've used the G seats, it's like bang for buck. It's hard to justify because it's almost as expensive as buying an entire motion sim. That's the funny thing about a good G seat. But yeah, if you gave me a Wind Sim, VR, a G seat, and motion, I would be getting GeForce, including at the Rex too. In the Rex, you would start probably even reacting in a way that you might even hurt yourself from time to time. Giggity. Enough said. Right there. All right. In addition to the conspit, look, we're moving on.
All right. Hey, I'm loving this conversation, man. It's good.
Yeah. Well, and this has been always the whole point and purpose of having the pit stop. It's like, we're here to talk about sim racing, racing news and chat. Coffee, sim racing news. I mean, yeah. Oh, look, Terry, that was a pretty good combo, to be honest. Wind, motion, haptics, etc. And did your brain make you think you felt G's? Did it? All right, so I now have a world record.
Uh-oh.
Well,
what?
A show record.
Oh.
I will have to double check, but I'm pretty sure because how much is 2,200 euro?
2,200 euro. I mean, I don't know the currency. A dollar's worth 88 euro right now.
So it's like $2,000, right?
What? How would you say the amount was?
Here, let me double check myself. Where is it? Wait. Here we go. 2,000 euro.
Okay, 2,000 euro. That would be about $2,200.
Oh. Okay, so that's a record. I yesterday unboxed a $2,200 set of pedals. Dave Co, 2,500 USD.
I don't think it's that much.
2,500. 2,200. 2,500. We got
It'd
confirmation.
be $2,274,000.
$2,274.
Yeah.
And changing every minute.
Yep.
And no joke. This is the Wave Italy Impetus Moza pedals. And they are something else. They're a load cell. This is not bringing any new revolutionary thinking to sim racing. There are no haptics on it. It's not a hydraulic. But we're talking like an Italian company making it in an Italian way. And the one thing I kept trying to explain, because it's like, how do you even for a minute justify $2,500, right?
Yep.
And here is my logic, and this really does come from working at CXC Simulations. CXC got asked all the time to please sell his pedal set. Really nice hydraulic pedal set. It was basically very similar to Ricmotech, like a Willwood based type pedal set. And he purposely didn't make them available to the public. And the reason why is because he would probably have to charge about $5,000 to justify their placement on that rig. Right? So if any rich person ever tried to backward engineer a CXC simulation, right? It's like, well, they need to justify the expense. Same thing with their steering wheels and other things that would work for every sim racer out there on planet Earth. And the CXC pedals are phenomenal, and their steering wheels are amazing, right? But there's a reason they don't sell them to the public, because they would have to justify their expense. Anyway, same sort of thing here. I mean, Wave Italy is more known for their complete simulators, which I believe are in like the neighborhood of $100,000.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're pricey, but oh god, they're so good.
Yeah, and these are the pedals.
I tried one years ago.
And these are the pedals. The Impetus pedals are the ones that were in them. They're the same ones Ken had. These are not even massively changed. What it really is more of a sensor and a computer control board and a software suite to match. So much so that I understand you can actually buy an upgrade kit for the original ones, because it changes the sensors, it changes the board, and it changes the software. But the pedal structure is actually... I was looking for differences, and I don't have the other ones in my hand, but I'm not sure there are a lot of visual differences.
No, I looked at it, because after the show, I went and looked. Like, yeah, visually there's no difference. All the stuff that they did was really just software based and electronic based.
Yeah. To
bring it up to like today's standards. Yeah.
So, but I did after the show, I fully put them together. Is there anything you guys can't see over there? It's dark. Here, I'm actually at a strange mode. I'm trying to figure out how to do a live stream unboxing where I can actually go to mounting. But I've just learned that Logitech cameras are so sensitive that if you touch one that's on a tripod, like at the limit of its length, if you even breathe on it, it's going to disconnect from OBS. And it will not come back on no matter what you do if you're live.
We need to get you like one. What are they called? They have them now. You can do up to 4K streaming. The swivel cameras, and they automatically track you too. You can set it to where it automatically tracks you. Yeah, it's just on it's on a gimbal, and you just put it anywhere you want in your room, and wherever you move or across the room, it just tracks you and it will follow you around. I think it was called OBS Spot or something like that. We got to take a look at that.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah, that way you can just move around your room and everything, do what you want. And the camera's tracking you the whole time, or like you can make hand gestures,
and
it will start tracking where you point at.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, because I want to do more of that. I just, like... I think even when I started the show, even with the original naming of SimPit, it was about... And if you think back, I used to be a little more like Barry Rollins, like take shit apart, you know?
Yeah.
It always was really supposed to be a little bit more nuts and bolts, right? And just like sim racing life. or being a sim racer. And, we get so bogged down with reviews that I forget that. But I think even in the review process, bringing people into the process could be the equivalent.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it was a fun unboxing. I also like them because it's casual. I get to just talk with you guys while we're doing it. And I don't have to be all buttoned up formal. I don't worry about what I say, And hey, the other thing is shit happens, right? I mean, I can't act like everything goes perfectly behind the scenes. Things go wrong all the time. All the time. And sometimes it's just a quick fix and just frustrating. And sometimes it's moved on. Hey, Doug Hawley. Oh, man, you might not want me to say this publicly. I'm sorry, buddy. My condolences, Doug. I'll just say that. I feel bad. I got a message. I sent you a message. I don't know if you got it. If you didn't, then I don't have your phone number anymore. Just saying. Moving on. This, I think, is probably the top story of the day. The FIA is excited to launch an all-new global esport competition for girls and women aged 16 or older. Run in partnership with Advanced Sim Racing and iRacing, Girls on Track Rising Star Esport Edition gives everyone the chance to race for victory, no matter where they live or what experience they have. Think you have what it takes? Find out how to get involved below about the FIA Girls on Track Esport Cup.
Sweet.
Yeah. So if you're a girl, a woman, they use the word girl. I don't know if I even use the word girl. I try not to. Girl's a word I don't try to let out. I don't use the word girl very much. If you're 16,
I just use the word until someone corrects me. Because nowadays you never know what word you could use.
Yeah, so it's like I'd just say 16-year-old women or older. I'd feel safer, but that's okay. It's their wording. And I'm not even trying to get into any of this, by the way. I'm not even I have no issue with any of that stuff. I'm just saying I just use the word woman so I don't offend anybody, hopefully. That's my goal. I don't want even I'm going to reread their first line. The FIA is excited to launch an all-new global esport competition for girls and women aged 16 and older. Okay. So, I guess girl would be if you're under 18. I guess that's still proper.
Maybe.
I think. I don't know. I don't have kids. I don't know. I'm just an old man. I'm just an old man who doesn't want to offend anybody. Everybody's cool. Everybody's awesome. I love you all. Okay, so belt tensioners. Oh my god, belt tensioners is another one. You want real G-force? You want your brain? You add belt tensioners to the list of immersion, and you're there. Under braking, you'll swear to God you felt braking G-forces.
Yeah.
If you had motion, haptics, belt tensioner, wind sim, VR, and a G seat, you would under braking especially, you'd bet money that you were actually feeling G-force.
Oh yeah, man. I love my tensioner, man. It is probably I say the second best thing on my rig right now. Yeah.
Oh, I'm down with that. We could just say Sim Goddesses. The FIA is excited to launch an all-new global esport competition for Sim Goddesses age 16 or older. I'm down with that. That works.
They're like Amazonians on track. I don't know if that's right or wrong, too.
Anyway, that's really cool. So this is though, really important. FIA is the one making this announcement. And they're doing it in conjunction with Advanced Sim Racing. I think it's Advanced Sim Racing and iRacing. Really cool.
Yeah.
Also from iRacing is, and this is one of the first events I don't think we have a team going. The Roar America 500, the Riot America 500. No, this is a cool combo. This is the Audi 90 and the Nissan 300Z in the Road America 500 coming up as a special event in iRacing. So, yeah. I don't know if we have any guys running in that. I don't think so.
I think we had a couple. I think Ola was gonna run it. I can't remember who else.
Electromagnetic helmet yanked. I've seen that from like Frax, and that's where I draw the line. I never liked racing in a Hans because of how restrictive it was on my head, and that was just keeping it from moving. I am not signing on for something that's going to control where my head sits. The frozen shoulder American 500. Now you can just say for 49 and under, and then you don't have to include frozen shoulders.
There you go.
So EA Sports F1 talking about catch up with the Breaking Point stories so far in our blog post, and then they have this minute and 12-second video.
Oh, don't sound so excited, Sean.
Breaking Point 3 and eSport F1 original story.
For me though, that's actually the only thing I like about the EA games is the story part. I don't know, maybe just me. Like I enjoyed it when I was playing Grid.
Right.
I haven't tried it in the F1 games yet, but I enjoyed like the storyline that they had for Grid, and they used that same system in F1. I mean, to me, that maybe might be the only thing is
I
that
think,
might be worth it. Yeah.
I think if you ran nothing but like 3-lap races, that might come into play. Because when you mentioned Grid, you're right. Grid was fantastic in that aspect. Yeah. I think to this day it might be the most fun career mode game I can think of. Yeah. I mean, and if anyone knows something better, please tell me. I'd love to give it a try or remember something differently. But the key was that it was so much part of the game. Because the races were only, 5 minutes long ultimately or something like that, versus in Formula 1, we tend to run, even if you run 10%, it's like, well, that's going to be a lot of racing.
Yeah. I mean, the only, I really do miss, I wish they would do, because they used to do it, the moments where, you could go back and experience, a historic race, go back and do, the race between Ayrton Senna and Alan Prost at Suzuka, right, where they're fighting for the world championship. And you could be either driver, and you have to win that race to become the world champion, or Michael Schumacher and Damon Hill, have those races where you can relive those events. To me, that, dude, I would go back to buying F1 because of stuff like that.
Right. Well, especially like a Madden where you wait every 2-3 years till they do something. Yeah. It's not. Sometimes it's a track, sometimes it's delivery, sometimes it's driver lineup changes, sometimes it's something like career mode. That, every 2 or 3 years, we are going to want to buy a game like this for our diversion driving game, playing with a controller maybe even. Driver 69, you're right. I would not run without a Hans. As much as I hate them, knowing the... And you can even feel, you don't even have to argue the technology, you just feel it. I wouldn't race without one now. I mean, I hate them still. I loathe it. Especially coming from karting, where I would literally look behind me, I would sit up in my seat to get even more view if I needed to. So, coming from karting into racing, I raced go-karts before I raced cars, so... that's not entirely true. I raced a Star Mazda before I sat in a go-kart. And I had driven a Formula Mitsubishi, and I had raced a Star Mazda, and then I go-karted. But anyway, I had a lot more time in go-karts before I got more involved in cars and racing. Man, I'm so lucky. I'm sorry. Yeah. That was like a quick memory lane. It's like, man, I'm so lucky. I don't have any money in the bank, but man, I have lived a hell of a life. I tell you that. So, all right. So career mode looking pretty juicy.
Yeah.
Grid was awesome, says Christian. Are the new shirts? What new shirts? So good. Oh, that's right. I'm wearing one of the new shirts.
Yeah.
Fourth wall. Exclamation mark.
I haven't released them yet. I haven't released them yet. I need to finish the polos and the hats before I can launch the new stuff. Yeah.
All right. Nobody look. You're not. This isn't here. You're not. You're not seeing this. This isn't here. All right. Here, I gotta operate my mouse like this, I guess. I just got hungry.
Just like you gotta be like this the whole time now.
Doesn't EA WRC have these moments and daily challenges? That's a good question, Anders. Do they? That'd be cool, because that's one of the things I get mad about iRacing for. Have any of you done an AI? Have any of you done an AI race on iRacing, like to completion?
Yeah.
You notice how it gives you a news story?
It does.
How cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is something that I've been talking about and kind of busting iRacing's balls about for, like, I don't know, 8 years now. Like,
right.
Can you give me a virtual trophy when I win, right? Can you give me some kind of acknowledgement of my race other than saying your results will be available for download or whatever the message said, you know? Anything? Come on, I just won. But if you do an AI race, they do that.
Yeah.
How come it doesn't do that more? And then even from there, looking at EA, it's like, God, how hard would it be to, like, have a couple of people just, like, writing some scripts and doing the AI character? Like, these are AI characters. This doesn't take a lot to make one of those people sit there and do a talking scene. I'm pretty sure at this point in technology, you type in the text, you set the angle with the 3D modeled character, you set the camera, and bammo, you make a video. I think that's how easy that shit is now. I could be wrong. And hey, David, you know more about video games than me. Am I wrong, or is it that hard? Or is it that easy to make one of those scenes like this? Where's the guy talking? What does it really take? Aren't these characters like 3D modeled? So that once you have the model, you can, I don't know. I guess you have to tell it to move around, and that takes some coding. I
don't think we're too far off of stuff like that, man. Like, because as long as, if you just give the AI to act within certain parameters, like, we're getting to the point where, like, you can have deep fake videos, you can make music, you can make songs, you can make graphics, you can make motion videos. We're still kind of like in the baby phase, but I don't think we're that far off where, like, the games based off of AI will, based off of your actions, the AI will react to it, and you'll get those cutscenes and things like that. I don't think we're that far off. Maybe 4 or 5 years, and we'll start seeing stuff like that.
I wonder how far we are from, like, where you can kind of, like, write your own storyline. Yeah. Like at some point will we get to where the software and AI is so sophisticated that they will build a game, but it would allow me to create a career mode that I could then share with you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because all the tools can be built into the game, and I don't know. Someday.
Yeah.
All right. It's more game designer and decision maker limited than tech. That's kind of how I feel too. It's like allocating the resources, but it's probably not tremendous. And even then, it's like, how hard would it be to create, 20 different congratulatory messages when you finish a race? Just to have enough variety where it's not like brutal. Like, my problem with career mode is the repetition stuff becomes so predictable that it's like, okay, well, can I now turn that off? Because now it's been reduced to just the driving game.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sam, me too, but that's because I usually am purposely crashing in the AI races, and then I'll be told what a failure I am. All right, somebody who plays Forza Horizon might need to help me out on this one. Because I don't know, and their articles are really weird on it, so it's hard to, I'm pretty sure this whole Forza Horizon 5 has been out forever, but then they did their Realms, DLC for it. But for some reason, I think maybe Realms didn't make it to the PlayStation 5, or maybe Horizon 5 didn't get upgraded to the PlayStation 5, and now it has something like
I don't know.
that? I don't know, but are you as hyped to welcome new players into the festival as we are? The new players, I think, are PlayStationers. So yeah, now Horizon Realms on Forza Horizon 5 is on PlayStation 5, I think is the...
Oh, okay.
So here's their PlayStation 5.
I haven't been following Forza at all.
Well, and this is Horizon. It's not even Forza.
Yeah.
It's not even Horza. It's... Yeah, I think that it just came to the... It's all these years later, it's come to the PS5. I think that is the story. Realms are new, so it's being released on all... Thank you, Driver69.
Okay.
Realms is new, being released on all platforms with the actual game release finally on the PlayStation 5. I have like an itchy arm. I'm going to have to get some of that. I have some roll-on cortisone. TMI?
A little bit.
All right. American Truck Simulator. You know, it'd be great
Right.
if they exported the Kenworth W900 into Euro Truck, and people were like trying to get this monster of a semi through the streets of Europe. That'd be hysterical. Anyway, the Kenworth W900 Legacy Edition is now out in American Truck Simulator. And I think that's all that they're showing some more Iowa. No, that's the new one. Missouri deal. No, Iowa is the next upcoming. Missouri is the one that just came out. Here. Showcasing more intersections, junctions, bridges being recreating for upcoming Iowa DLC for American Truck Simulator. There you go. Someone's going to have to tell me when you can go coast to coast on ATS.
I think we're a couple years away from that, but I don't know, man. It seems like every month they're releasing a new state, so maybe by the end of the year.
And I want to know what the virtual drive time is. Like, is it
right?
Like, you know, but like, because I can go from LA to San Francisco in like, you know, 25 minutes, maybe. I don't know their time. It's pretty. You can't fit that thing a drive through, or it won't fit through. No, that is like as big as I've seen bigger actually, but the ones that have like almost a single apartment on the back,
right?
Like they're ridiculous. This one's at least still a normal truck. Where is that kind of? This is at least still a normal crew cab. What do they call the extra cab in a semi truck? But have you seen the ones where, I mean, it literally is like, I don't know, it's like a whole cube on the back of the truck before the trailer. And it's like a living quarters. I mean, like, I think it's for a sleepover for, like, if you have a 3-man crew doing a cross-country. Or if you're just, like, the most styling solo operator ever. And you're like, oh, I got my dog, my wife, I got...
They have the whole family. We're just going on a road trip, you know, we're going coast to coast.
I don't know anything about trucking, but I want to. I wish I did.
You need to play more ATS, then you get to learn.
Yeah. All right, Amir Muffs.
Oh no, I'm curious. Before you get into that, no, Daniel mentioned something about ATS road trip project. I don't know what that is.
Here, let me go
they're
back.
adding pickup trucks and sports cars to ATS. Oh,
What?
like you get to actually drive them, or or like they're just adding them into, you know, to add more immersion.
Was that an April Fool post?
I don't know.
I'm not seeing any. I'm looking.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it either, so I don't know.
But that doesn't mean it isn't. I'm just saying I haven't seen that. I'm looking for it.
Let me see.
Uh-oh, I have to go to the bathroom.
Trip project.
Games are American Car Simulator. Is that American Truck
Oh,
Simulator?
well, here you go. Here, I'm gonna shoot it to you real quick.
Dun dun dun! Gotta love the assist from the community.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you, Daniel.
I just sent it to you.
Got it. I'm loving this new setup we got. Project Road Trip. This is from April 11th. Here's that. Blah, 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 blah. In the past mission, not just through driving Class 8 trucks and hauling cargo, but by exploring the same world through different types of vehicles and experiences. Road Trip represents a step in that direction. Once introduced, it should allow players to enjoy the vast landscapes of ATS, not only from the cab of an 18-wheeler, but also from behind the wheel of, say, a powerful pickup or even a sports car.
Ooh.
Wow, we hope this new perspective will appeal not only to longtime players, but also to those who may be discovering ATS for the first time. When are they going to go open world with the players? I want easy to match up convoys in the game. I don't want third party. I don't want to have to go a lot of work.
Yeah.
I want to go to my friends list. I want to be like, all right, everybody, let's meet up at the gas station there in Bakersfield. We're gonna get a good line and we're gonna cruise to Sacramento.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I know we could do it in the, what is it called, World Trucks, right? We could do convoys and stuff like that. We just need to figure out how to do it.
Well, I think you can even do it here. You have to do a lot of work to do it, though.
Yeah.
So, and you know how much I hate to work.
I know. We asked people in our Discord to help out, and none of them wanted to. So, like, all right, we're just gonna shelf it then.
Daniel, that's cool. That means they'll really expand some of the other like things that you would go to, like maybe like Hoover Dam for just a quick example. That would be really cool. I mean, and you might even at some point see portions of the game going to like a flight simulator method for filling in space, right, between certain regions. You know, some kind of, I don't know what they have up their sleeve, but their nationwide expansion is fascinating, and yeah, wouldn't it be cool to go coast to coast?
Yeah.
And then at some point, don't we have to bring in law enforcement, make sure these truckers aren't going too long?
Yeah.
For Sean, anytime is nap time. Anytime I stop moving is nap time. That is the law around here. Here's what'll happen. It doesn't matter if it's 8 in the morning or 4 in the afternoon or 9 o'clock at night. If I sit in my recliner and pull out my cell phone and start like browsing or playing a game, I'll be asleep within 15 minutes. And that could be with a cup of coffee in the opposite hand. All right. Amir Muffs, are you ready? Amir Muffs?
I think I'm good now. I've been going to, I didn't tell you about this, but yeah, I've been going to therapy just solely because
Solar Crown therapy?
Yeah, I've been going to Solar Crown therapy, and I think I'm at a stage right now where I can emotionally and mentally handle test drive news. So let's try it. We'll see. If I spaz out, just cut me offline or something, and I'll be okay.
All right. Well, we've got a big patch. A big patch from Solar Crown just came out. This is the Season 3 mid-season patch notes. New car delivery contracts, navigation races, and a bunch of new fixes and improvements. See, you could theoretically do a convoy in Test Drive Solar Crown. Just saying. New content. I'm not going to read the whole list, so let's just take a handful off the list. Ferrari F40, Shelby, Cobra, Daytona, Lamborghini Countach, Pininfarina Battista. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that car is. Do you know what the Fenner Super Sport? I don't know what that is. A Mercedes-Benz 300 SL, Bugatti Veyron, Jaguar. Okay, so cool, some exotic cars. If anyone wants to tell me what any of those three I didn't know what they are, that would be cool. I don't know what they are. New navigation races and a bunch of destinations. Finding your way here. So that sounds like achievement races kind of thing. bunch of general fixes and improvements, vehicle dynamics and modeling, sounds, memory leak PC issues, Xbox issues, network issues, an idea of some future fixes, and their final message. I don't mean their final message. The final message, you shouldn't, you got to be careful when you throw that word around. Oh no, that's it? The final message?
Oh no! Yeah.
Oh, bum,
Or a good riddance.
Bum, 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 bum.
It was, TDU was
Too soon?
was an okay game. It lived long enough. And I think it was about time we put it out of its misery and just move on with our lives. Yeah.
Anyway, they're working on communications. They're working on their next big communication for test drive. Next Dev Diary will have it. Information on Season 4, roadmap for Year 2. As well as many topics the community have wanted us to tackle, such as economy, rank, vehicle distribution, optimization, graphics, network, missions, and more. Cool. All right, that's it from test drive. We can move on.
All right. I survived. Yes.
All right.
I'm good. I'm healed. There we go.
I don't want to. Let's not try to get any arguments or political conversation. I'm just going to talk brass tacks. There's some financial things going on in the world that are a little disturbing. Oh, shit, I said too much. There's some financial things going on in the world that are impacting our lives. I think that's neutral enough. Is that neutral enough? Okay.
That's neutral enough. Yeah.
Okay. And with that said, there are going to be some changes. One of such changes, this is posted by Fnatic as a response. A while back, they'd kind of made some announcements about some price changes. There was some conversation on Reddit, and so Fnatic decided to re-enter the topic. We'd like to share an update with you regarding recent comments we've seen regarding website orders, tariffs, and changes to our pricing. We sincerely appreciate your feedback and will be continuing to monitor the situation. Anyway, Fnatic prices have gone up substantially in all regards, and this has... Oh, I already had that pulled up. And yeah, you're going to see a change, a large change in Fnatic gear, specifically in North America. It might have a bigger impact than that when it all finalizes, is my guess. But let's start with the obvious. North America is going to see an impact. All right. I'm going to jump around a little bit because I want to get over this. In addition to this, oh shoot, I played taps a minute too soon. I should have held that one off. This was posted by GT Omega. Now, this only impacts their North American distribution. All right. And it does not, GT Omega, USA. We're really sorry to say that due to new tariffs on goods shipped to the United States, we've had to temporarily close our store while figuring out a solution and make adjustments where needed. Sorry for the inconvenience. Don't worry, though, for anybody who has existing warranty claims will still be honored. They're just like, whatever. Or you know what? Let's not send any more containers there until we figure it out. That's what that means. It's not, I guess taps would be a little strong. Yeah. But yeah, North America, GT Omega, who has been one of the better inexpensive rig makers out there, just to put it bluntly. But if you didn't have money for $1,000 rig and you didn't want to pay for the super premium names, GT Omega was there to kind of not just be, it was kind of like a inexpensive rig that you get some feedback on from people who've used them because they're actually popular and have a name, versus like, my problem with a lot of things that come from those weirdo sites, I'm not going to name them, is the exact rig will be the same name, and then if you did want to buy a second one because your buddy wanted to get into sim racing, you go to buy it and it doesn't exist. I have one of these scooters, right? It's one of these electric scooters. and the company I bought it from no longer exists. And the reason for it is because I need warranty questions, and I have questions and need just service like questions. Like there's nothing, but like, oh, my handlebar's loose. What do I do? My motor's doing this. What do I? They're gone. But yet I can go to Amazon right now and pull up the exact scooter with the exact markings, exact features, every same color. The only thing that has changed is the name on the scooter. Right. And anyway, that's my problem with generic rigs, is they fall into that same category. Yeah. You buy one, you have a little problem a year later, and you go and that company isn't, but then you're like, but that's the rig. I'm looking at my rig, warranty my rig. I need a bolt for my rig, whatever. All right, rant over.
Maybe that's how they get out of warranty work. They just rebrand and call themselves a different name. Well, like, yeah, no, we used to be this company, you know, someone else bought us and now we're a completely different company. So sorry, the warranty is gone, right? Yeah. Now you got to buy a brand new one from us and we'll offer you the same quality and same, you know, blah, blah, blah. And we'll guarantee to give you a 5-year warranty as long as our company exists. You know, in the little wording down below in the small letters, you know, as long as the company exists, right?
Oh, it's so brutal. Yeah, driver, I'm with you there, but I'm not. I didn't say that out loud, but I said it out loud. All right.
I just think about these are only. I mean, we mentioned it too. Was it 2 weeks ago? Asetek came out with the video,
right,
talking about how their prices are going to increase. Who else? So because we're talking about like, because that's where it kind of surprised me with SimMagic.
Oh yeah.
Because you and me were tracking different dates for SimMagic for the new Alpha Evo base to come out. Then out of the blue, they dropped the pre-order link. Like, go ahead, guys, everybody start pre-ordering.
Before reviews, before any, yeah,
right.
It was almost still under wraps, like,
right. And because we were tracking a completely different day, like, all right, here's the embargo, here's the release. And then out of the blue, they just released like, hey guys, you can go ahead and pre-order the SimMagic Alpha. And like, I think they're doing that now because people can go ahead and buy it now before, you know, the tariffs come into effect.
They're pre-tariff.
That way they don't before they're re-tariffed again. So that way people don't have to pay, you know, the more expensive price when they're actually fully released.
Yep.
And it's not gonna and people are thinking like this is only gonna affect Chinese companies. No, it's like we saw Asetek, you know, they're a Danish company, but because they use parts made in China, guess what? They're getting tariffed. You know, they're gonna have the double tariff on them. Well, you know, you think about it, like even with GSI, you know, I mean, almost everybody gets parts manufactured, you know, electronic parts manufactured in China. So that's guarantee you, like, regardless if they're a Chinese sim racing company,
it's gonna impact.
Their prices are going to go up, and it's going to impact them. Some might be able to eat the cost, but I guarantee you a lot of them aren't going to be able to.
Well, they, you know, this. Oh, here we go. There's no stopping me now. You know, even like
no, keep it nice. Keep it nice. Woosah.
I'm just gonna say, driver. Yeah, the greedflation, and then Dirge. Agreed, because I think companies that aren't actually impacted are going to raise their price because that's what tariffs allow those companies to do. They're like, oh, well, if all my competition's more expensive, I get to raise my prices magically. What do you freaking know? So right. They're going to take and then the other is even when you look at things that aren't like agriculture, like, right? Like I live in California, right? So I could be talking about an orange from Southern California, right? Well, the bag, the parts for the trucks, there's so much part of the infrastructure that involves China that even if it was literally a piece of fruit grown in my own state, the tariffs are still going to impact that even. So, I mean, all right, I'm done. Sorry. Someone slapped me.
No, you're good.
All right. SimMagic. Not impacted by the tariffs. The round one, at least, right? Batch one. I heard someone else refer to it that way, too. Batch one. Like, oh, well, this batch is this price. Sim Experience. The AccuForce, the new AccuForce Extreme. The batch they have are pre-tariff, and the next one, who knows, right? Anyway, SimMagic. So check out some of their new advertising for the Alpha Evo. Lightweight equals performance. Alpha Evo, a revolution in force. Keep racing. I like that. Keep racing. Pre-order now. Zero cogging tech. Smoothness, consistency, and precision, all in one package. Alpha Evo, a revolution in force. Keep racing. Zero cogging tech. It's all about the finest controls. Alpha Evo, a revolution in force. Keep racing. 21-bit resolution encoder. Ultra-fine precision for smooth, precise. And then we have this...
Ensures smooth, consistent, and cogging-free force feedback. Buy now.
Buy now. Buy now. Pre-tariff. Buy now. Why choose low inertia? We're driving into the philosophy of the new Alpha Evo motor design to understand the benefit it brings. An Alpha Evo, an evolution in force. Keep racing.
Keep racing.
What is zero cogging? I was going to ask that. I was going to actually ask anybody out there. John, what is zero cogging tech? Zero cogging is going to be a few different things. Your magnets in the positions.
Yep.
Like each time it switches magnets, essentially. The internal comm, I think they call it, when it switches magnets, because you have all these magnets rotating, you feel it.
Right.
So the strength of the magnets is going to be a part of it, right? And how strong do you need them to be to deliver the power? And then the other is the amount of power you're running through the motor, because that increases the magnetic polarity, I believe. So, anyway. Cogging can be felt sometimes in wheels at low force feedback moments. So if you're running really low force feedback and you're on a straightaway and you just kind of feel like that little chick chick on that,
right,
like coming off a center point sometimes. It's not the end of the world. Most of us have some form of cogging going on, whether we realize it or not. But they're talking about this being a very, very, very smooth, cog-free motor.
Wasn't I want to say, wasn't it Thrustmaster that came out with a cog-free wheelbase?
Was the T818 like that?
Yeah, the last one that came out.
Yeah,
that one's virtually cog-free.
Yeah,
and free spin.
You can just spin it.
Yeah.
Bases need RGB.
Yeah.
RGB has its function.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
and you can use it for things in the sim too. So it's gonna have SimHub and through SimHub and through their SimMagic software. You can use that LED ring to do different things depending on what's going on in the sim too. So it's not just there to be a pretty color either.
I have a detent shoulder. It's even worse than cogs. It's detents. It's like a 3-position detent. All right. So I know we've given Moza a hard time for kind of copying Fnatic, right? I think it's fair to say we've given it a hard time. I love Moza, but I've definitely given him a hard time for copying Fnatic.
Right.
Sort of funny here because I'm looking at this new VRS DFP15, and I'm like,
what are you talking about?
This new VRS.
That's the Moza base.
So you see where I'm getting.
That's a Moza base. I don't see VRS.
I'm like, that's totally a Moza base. What's going on?
Or is that a Fnatic? Wait, I can't tell.
So we've got
I'm trying to...
Chinese copying Germans, made in China, being copied by Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to throw tariffs in. No, I'm sorry. I was over it. I'm sorry. Make it make sense.
Tariffs!
Please make it make sense.
Tariffs!
Please make it make sense. Your Simucube, even when off, is smooth. Yeah, I mean, some cog more than others. It's not the end of the world. And a lot of it is a lot more noticeable powered off than powered on.
Yeah.
And even more it's least noticeable while driving. So not only powered on, but force feedback active. It's a little less noticeable when powered on but out of the game, and even less noticeable when it's completely, truly powered off. But like this wheelbase here, which I'm not going to name any names, there's no...
I think I lost Sean.
No, I'm here. I'm concentrating at my highest.
Oh, okay. Because you just cut off on me, like, did he disappear? Like, oh, no, you're good.
There is no cog.
Brooding moment.
I'm just trying to, like, is that... I can't tell. I'm trying to move microscopically, and I can't tell if that's, like, zero cogging or just my brain, like, fighting small amount of friction so lightly to feel for cogs that I'm just, like, binding it myself, right? But yeah, I mean, again, by the time you're powered up with force feedback, I argue you don't feel much cogging. It's there.
Right.
I'm not going to deny it, but it's there. All right, we are almost at the end of the show, which is good because I got to tinkle.
You're gonna be Cole Tinkle.
I'll say it like my grandma would have said it 30 years ago.
I
need to make wee wee.
You gotta make a wee wee. So if I start singing the Tinkle Tinkle song, you're not gonna have to run to go pee.
I probably would, especially if you ran a faucet in the background. And make cogging great again. Man, don't make a shirt that says that. You'll get arrested. That sounds really wrong. That sounds really wrong. Sim Gaming Expo has a couple announcements. GTR Simulator is going to be there. So we'll be joining them in Chicago. Speaking of joining, Mike, Sim Racing 604 is going to be there as well. So
man, there's going to be a lot of good people there.
Yeah, there's going to
We
be a
got
lot of
you.
me.
We've got Matt Malone that's going to be there. We've got Lawrence DeSosa is going to be there. And now we've got Mike Sim Racing 604. Hell yeah, man!
Yeah,
it's gonna be
cool.
It's gonna be an awesome lineup.
Gonna be insane.
Yeah.
All right. This is my best way of talking about the Sim Pit Rally League, but I think what did you say? What were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna just say a little bit more about the Sim Gaming Expo.
Yeah.
If you haven't bought your tickets yet and you're gonna go, join our Discord. Go to our announcement sections. We have a code there so you can get 5% off your tickets. Me and Sean are going to be there. We're going to be there for the whole entire time. And you saw now we've got Mike Sim Racing 604. A bunch of other people are going to be there. It's going to be a great time. And we're going to try to organize some sort of Sim Pit activity for everybody. So we're looking at doing, if we get enough people, we're going to have a community race because we're going to have an esport arena set up. And they're going to give us a dedicated time where we can get on to the sim rigs there and have our own race with the crew in person. I think that's going to be awesome.
Well, we're not going to do a race. We're going to do a convoy.
Or a convoy. There you go. We'll do an ATS convoy. I'll bring my trucker hat. But yeah, we're going to have probably maybe we can do like a dinner or something with everybody and just have a good old time and hang out. So yeah. And we're also going to try to bring George on the show, so we're going to do an interview with him. We're going to do it live, and that way you guys can ask questions to him about the Sim Racing Expo too. So
awesome.
So stay tuned.
Awesome. All right, there you go. That's coming up quick.
Yeah.
EAWRC Club. Callum did a shakedown of the VW Polo. Good way of showing what's going on. Here, I'll let this play because I want to look at his post. Okay, hold on. We've got some driver lineup changes, I believe, in after our draw. So here, let's pull that up real quick. Here we go. So let's see. And I missed the joke back in the moment, by the way. So did this mute? Here, let's stop that. I missed the Davy Jones mix there for their team name. But let's see. Caractacus is now with Wouter Van Morik. With Caractacus running pro, Wouter running as an amateur. and the other was Dirge, Christian, and Amir. Well, those are the same teams, right? And it looks like all.
We changed because John Hill was going to miss almost a month.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess now I don't remember the whole thing, but I think Callum's going to be a reserve driver or something to help people out. I don't know.
Oh, Callum's. So we dissolved a team, essentially. John
Don't quote me on that. Maybe Callum's
Okay.
here and you can correct us.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready for rally.
I'm ready for rally. Do you have your wheel?
I haven't built the one I want to use, but I do got a backup to use.
Oh
so.
man, I'd use that in a minute. That'll work. With some gloves.
Yeah.
Is that real?
Oh, yeah.
That looks like real suede.
It is. It was my original wheel that I used, the Sim Racing Coach wheel. But yeah. The other one I want to build is all in this box right now.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
All right. Beyond that, last week we were off. We were off in the Sim Racing League. Sim Racing League. The Sim Pit Racing League. We were off last week. This week we are at. Wait, I was just there practicing. Where are we?
We're gonna be at Coda.
Coda. That's right. I'm in the wrong car. I'm at the wrong track. I'm not driving. That's not where I've been running. Oh, I've been running Lebanon in the Miata. Wait. Actually, I've been running a bunch of stuff. I ran a little Coda in the Porsche at the beginning of the week, but I didn't load a setup. I was filming B-roll. And then I was running the Ferrari at somewhere that I was really good at. Oh, it might have been Mid-Ohio or Road America. Well, I don't know. I can't remember. And then I was running the Miata at Lebanon. And, yeah, so I've been all over the place this week. And I have not done my adequate amount of practice. But I'm still doing it in little stints because I'm still, the shoulder is not even fractionally better than it was last race. Man. So, but I've been slacking on my physical therapy. So, I mean, I gotta kind of point a finger at myself in this case. Just realized I told my dog it would be 45 minutes, and we're an hour and a half.
We're almost done. You can make it, buddy.
Yeah.
It's okay, Max. He's almost done.
Actually, all I was gonna show off a sim rig. I think.
Oh, go ahead.
I think that's where we are, and I'm not even gonna go to Reddit because we actually got a post from Michael Tucker.
Oh.
There is his. Oh, he's a Miata fan. Check that out.
Yeah.
Tuck, and he's got a Fanatic. Oh no, that's an Asetek setup.
That's an Asetek base. Yep.
And he's got a button box. That looks like a Derek Spear button box, maybe. SimLab rig. It's got an H pattern and a handbrake.
Mm-hmm.
Those are Asetek pedals with the light, right? They have the light bar.
Yeah. I can't really tell. They're kind of hidden. I can't really tell.
And that power button's for the Asetek base, huh? They do that big separate power button. Yep. Yeah, that's nice. Is that a lava lamp? No. I don't know what kind of lamp that is. You got a
Looks
webcam.
Like a salt lamp?
What kind of little webcam with a built-in ring light? What's that webcam?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
I don't know what brand it is.
All right. Here, we have another shot. Oh, here's his nighttime setup. Or wait. Yeah, no.
That looks like a salt lamp, yeah.
What is that?
That's, the camera, right?
I don't know it.
I don't know.
Anyway, nice setup.
I like his shifter. He's got the skull. He's got the gold skull on it.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice. Here, let's go to the. I didn't even notice that.
No.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. A salt lamp?
Yeah, it's a salt lamp. Yeah.
What's a salt lamp?
It's just a big chunk of salt rock, and then people use it. It's got healing. Healing and stuff. Yeah.
What do you lick it?
No. It just aerosols, I guess, in the air.
Oh, like the aromatherapy?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. Sean, stop licking the salt lamp. It's not how it works. All right. Well, I think that is all I have for today. We covered that. Yep, that is it. That's all I got. I'm tapped out. I'm working on this. I'm working on that. I'm working on those. Yeah, so I got some stuff coming out. I can tell you that. I'm going to try to get live with that AccuForce Extreme testing in Ultimate other sims, like some WRC and some Assetto, and a few other things that we're working on. So, yeah, lots should be coming in the next week. And so, yeah, it should be a good week here at the Sim Pit.
Yeah, man. I promise everybody, I ran into some PC issues, but I promise everybody I'll have my SimiCube active pedals out next week. And then on my part, I'm also going to be doing a live build of my second Cornwall wheel, which is going to be the rally wheel. I just got to finish 3D printing some parts, but once I get all that stuff done, then I'll do a live build of that wheel too. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so all sorts of cool stuff. Edited content, live content, good times. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you all for being part of the show. Thank you, Amira. Great having you back again.
Dude, always a blast.
And we will definitely see you Sunday for the race at our normal time. Other than that, I'll be spontaneous with my testing video. But we'll try to get better on that as we get more and more caught up here because we are cranking things out. Anyway, get out there, do some sim racing, have yourselves a great weekend. And thank you for all the great conversation, questions, and in the chat today. I really appreciate it. And last chance, be sure to give the show a thumbs up before we go. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new so you can find out when we go live or our next video comes out. And have a great weekend, everybody. This is Sim Pit. I'm Sean Cole. And we will see you on the track. That's Amir.
Yeah. I was like, what?
I'm Sean Cole. That's Amir Assad. And we will see you on the track. Bye-bye, everybody.
Later, guys.